Of Currently in Quincy, I'm Joe Catalano, and today we will check in with Robert Pearson from the Norfolk County RSVP program and get an update from him. First, though, as always, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, it's raining out there. It's coming down pretty good right now. 40 degrees in Quincy right now. The rain should taper off early this afternoon. It'll be cloudy and damp for the rest of the day today, and temperatures not budging much from where they are right now in the low 40s. Cloudy, cool tonight. Lows drop off into the mid-30s. We have an unsettled weekend ahead. Some snow showers around tomorrow morning. Won't amount to much, but temperatures tomorrow in the upper 30s. Then Sunday, we have rain for most of the day. It'll switch over to snow at nights and continue through the overnight hours into Monday morning, with a possible accumulation right now of 1 to 3 inches by Monday midday or so. Temperatures Monday into the mid-30s, and then a bitter blast of Arctic air blows in here starting on Monday night. Temperatures drop off into the teens. It stays cold for most of next week, but we will see some sunshine around on Tuesday. For right now, rain, 40 in Quincy. Checking out news for you today, the city of Quincy will be selling a building that it purchased a little over a year ago to the state for the planned replacement of the Quincy District Courthouse. That single-story brick building at 6 to 10 McGrath Highway in Quincy will be sold to the state for the same $1.8 million that the city purchased it for back in December of 2022. The Assistant City Solicitor Janet Petkin told the Quincy City Council this week that it's a break-even transaction.
A wash for the city. The intention now is to keep the courthouse in the city, which I'm sure everyone knows is really a financial asset to the city because of, employees coming in, other people coming in and utilizing the courthouse and visiting Quincy Center. So this is an opportunity to work with the state, do an intergovernmental transfer essentially, and allow the courthouse to remain right in Quincy Center.
So the city used the district improvement financing money to purchase that building, so the money from the sale goes right back into that fund. Quincy City Council once again asking the administration to conduct a citywide review of the city's zoning codes and maps. Councilor at large Nina Liang this week reintroduced a resolution that was approved last year requesting that review, which she says has not been done since 1970. Council President and Ward 3 City Councilor Ian Kane echoed his colleagues in supporting that effort.
Most of our constituents don't want to see their neighborhoods overgrown in ways that crowd them out and make the city more congested, et cetera, et cetera. And I think this discussion is very important considering we just went through this process with the state's compliance and looking at the northern and the southern parts of the city and trying to come into compliance with housing regulations. So I look forward to working on this.
Now, that resolution states that the review should reflect the needs of residents, including density, protecting open space, establishing viable business districts, broadening the tax base, and incorporating access to public transportation. Also this week, Councilor at large Nina Liang reintroduced a resolution asking that the city review the potential adoption of the state's specialized stretch code that sets some new energy efficiency standards for new developments. The code ensures that new construction is consistent with the state's greenhouse gas limits. Ward 1 City Councilor Dave McCarthy worries that that code could place an undue financial burden on developers.
I'd like to work with Councilor Yang and Rob Conlon and Inspectional Services to come up and give us a to Z, soup to nuts presentation on all the work he's been doing. I know he's been doing a lot of work, and I've heard a lot of possibilities and a lot of impossibilities in regards to that, in regards to cost, in regards to the amount of change and the restrictions that would be put on a lot of contractors. The second part of my comments, I'd like to also maybe get a few contractors up here, both large and small, to hear testimony of what if a certain project, what it would cost them, what it would cost a homeowner to do to abide by the stretch code if it was in place.
Ward 4 Councillor James Devine also expressed concern about how adopting the stretch code would impact homeowners making improvements to their property. Councillor Liang agreed that a full in-depth study of that code is required. There is a second ghost bike in Quincy. Quinn Cycles and the Mass Bike Coalition held a ceremony this past Monday at Hancock Street and Albion Road in North Quincy to dedicate this ghost bike in memory of 63-year-old Guang Hui Gao, who was struck and killed by a FedEx truck as he was riding a bicycle on September 26th. State Representative Taki Chan and City Councilors Nina Liang, Dan Minton, and Scott Campbell also attended the ceremony, along with Gao's family members and members of the bicycle community. A ghost bike was also installed on McGrath Highway near Southern Artery in memory of 89-year-old Wu Li Dane, who was struck and killed by a car while riding a bike in a nearby parking lot. Quincy College basketball coach Doug Scott will be honored for recently earning his 100th win during a ceremony tomorrow at Eastern Nazarene College here in Quincy. Scott coached the Granite to their 100th win on January 18th with a victory at Holyoke Community College. The Quincy College Granite have earned regional championships and postseason berths under Scott's coaching, and a dozen alumni have gone on to play at four-year NCAA and NAIA schools. Scott was a standout player at Quincy High School and Massasoit Community College, and then returned to coach at Quincy High before leading up the new basketball program at Quincy College. He's also active with the Boston Amateur Basketball Club, coaches his daughter's grade school team, and serves as director of summer leadership camps for the Bow Foundation, which provides activities and education for 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. Scott will be honored during a brief ceremony tomorrow at 1 o'clock before the Granite take on Community College of Rhode Island at ENC. That is our check of news for you today. Coming up, we chat with Robert Pearson of the Norfolk County RSVP program. That's next.
Hi, I'm State Representative Bruce Ayers, and I'd like to introduce you to the Helping Hand program. With rising healthcare costs, all too often we hear stories about our seniors, veterans, and neighbors who may not have the proper insurance coverage they need for durable medical equipment. These individuals may be living on a fixed income and may not have the financial resources necessary to cover the cost of the equipment they need. We have a solution. The Helping Hand program provides free, durable medical equipment to residents in need. Items such as wheelchairs, walkers, crutches, canes, commodes, tub seats, and hospital beds are available through the program. We receive donations of lightly used equipment and store them at our facility in North Quincy. If you're in need of any of these items, you can pick them up free of charge and return them after any length of time.
My scooter has improved my mobility and independence. Thanks to Helping Hand, I can go to the store, visit the boardwalk, and do so much more.
Helping Hand is a great resource for people who don't have insurance coverage.
The Helping Hand program is successful thanks to the generosity of people who have donated durable medical equipment to our inventory. For more information about the program or to fill out an equipment request form, visit our website or call 617-472-9877. If you know someone in need of these items, we're always available to lend a helping hand.
Hello, I'm Tom Clasby, Director of the Kennedy Center, home of the Quincy Council on Aging. I want you to know that we're doing everything we can to keep the Kennedy Center safe. But you can do your part as well. If you're experiencing any of the following: coughs, chills, fevers, body aches, fatigue, shortness of breath, sore throat, nausea, or trouble breathing, please stay at home and contact your physician. Possibly you may have tested negative for COVID-19, but don't forget, we're in the middle of cold and flu season, and we want to do our part to make sure that we don't spread those things around as well. So please be responsible, Take good care of yourself, stay safe, and as soon as you feel better, come back to the Kennedy Center. We love to see you.
I'd like to start off the new year with a check-in with Robert Pearson from the Norfolk County RSVP program to let you know about some of the different volunteer opportunities that are available through that program, and this year is no exception. Robert, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too, Joe. I am happy to be back, as usual, for the start of this year, 2024, and it's good to hear Tom's reminder about being safe around this upsurge of COVID, which is amazing. It's beginning of the 5th year we're dealing with this.
Yes, it's the gift that keeps on giving, as I like to say, and it's the gift that everybody wants to return but can't. But nonetheless, it's not slowing down the RSVP program, and I thought, as always, we'd like to start with just kind of a little overview of what the program is, if you could.
Okay. Norfolk County RSVP stands for RSVP Retired Senior Volunteer Program. This is part of a national service initiative by AmeriCorps seniors. We receive a federal grant in order to offer wonderful opportunities to fit and able older adults age 55 and older throughout Norfolk County. We are able to keep enlisting new people into the programs. Quincy is a big area, obviously, within the county, and we're always happy to talk about the opportunities we have here, which I'll get into momentarily. Part of the RSVP program is also honoring veterans through different activities that we have, veteran pinning ceremonies. We're putting together actually a tribute book for veterans who've served in our program and who we have served. And we do have an annual appreciation luncheon for all of our volunteers. And hopefully it'll still be indoors again this August.
Yes, the weather is anything but predictable these days, that's for sure. So it's kind of a good thing, actually, that we're doing a virtual call today. That way you don't have to deal with the weather that's going on outside right now. But the program itself, right, is year-round, right? It's 365 days a year there's opportunities available.
Absolutely. So why don't I tell you some of the opportunities, especially for your listeners here in Quincy. Rides for Veterans is our flagship program, really. It's the only program we really do soup to nuts in terms of recruitment, dispatching, and giving up to 90 rides a month to for veterans, their widows, and their spouses, primarily to medical appointments. And we are always looking for new drivers. Within this program, we have a very simple web portal. You don't have to be a computer genius, but you do need to know how to get on a computer or even on your cell phone in order to locate rides that are available with all the details of, is it going to be an hour appointment, an hour and a half appointment? If it's longer than that, then typically you only need to sign up for a one-way trip. And we ask volunteers to do really just 2 a month minimum. We have been recruiting more drivers. In general, we do need more for Quincy to serve really the Quincy, Weymouth, Braintree area. And if people are interested to know about it, more details, they could contact me, Robert Pearson, at phone number 781-234-5785. 3445. I do want to say that I continue to be amazed with almost 10 years of running this program, how meaningful it is, because while transportation in and of itself is so important and so needed for frail and vulnerable veterans and older adults to get to appointments, we offer much more. We offer connection, companionship in terms of people developing friendships. We're putting together a Rides for Vets tribute book, which is going to tell the stories. It's going to be about a 48-page book. It's going to tell the stories over the past 10 years of who has helped who and in what ways. There are a lot of fun stories, surprising things that you have seen people go out of their way to do. Doesn't mean that if you sign up for this program, you have to adopt a veteran to do so many things with them. But it just naturally happens for so many people. And what we're asking for is for somebody to, help a vet or widow of a vet a couple times a month. We will also give mileage reimbursement to the volunteers that want it. And again, volunteers need to be age 55 and older.
Okay.
But the tribute book, I'm going back and forth on. It's going to come out in a couple months. I'll send you a copy. Everybody that wants one get a copy, but it's going to be an opportunity to really acknowledge all the wonderful, heartfelt work, and as a recruitment tool as well.
Yeah, it's a great idea, and it, as if we've said here many times in the past, that volunteers always get more than they give, and I'm sure that some of those stories will be told in that tribute book as well.
Absolutely true. In addition, in Quincy, we do have a number of knitters at the Kennedy Center in Quincy that are knitting Afghans and lap robes for veterans in the hospitals who are sick or actually in life-ending hospice care. So Quincy is one of about 5 senior centers around the county that are meeting in groups. If anybody is interested, you don't even have to go to the Quincy Center. If you want to knit from home, we could come by and pick up your Afghans after you knit maybe 5 plus, and you're automatically in as an RSVP member. You could come to our year-end luncheon and see how you're part of a really much bigger thing.
How did the holidays go, Robert, for the RSVP program? I know you traditionally do a big drive at the end of the year.
Yeah, thanks for asking, Joe. We do a holiday drive for active duty military. We partner with a group on the Cape called Cape Cod Cares for Our Troops. That's run by a woman named Michelle De Silva, who is so inspirational. We had a little Dunkin' Donuts after the last delivery. We had a group of about 5 of us caravanning about 3,000 personal care items down to the Cape. And then we met, and we learned how much Michelle and her group do for our troops, sending care packages many times a year to the same individuals that are stationed in Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Poland, primarily at this point. About 5 or 6 senior centers collected items on our behalf, which we picked up. And you never know who else wants to give. This year, we got a call from a manufacturer of shampoos and conditioners out of Walpole. And they said, "How many do you want?" We said, "Well, they could always be used, as much as you want to give." They ended up donating 2 extra large pallets of shampoos and conditioners. And I said, "Oh my God, I don't think we could transport these unless we break them down." We could do that. That's about 2,000 bottles, 16-ounce bottles of each, Joe.
Wow. That's
and
great.
they said, "No worries, we'll bring it down to the Cape for you."
No kidding.
So they even did that. and they said they'd like to do it again next year.
Oh, that's
because They really
fantastic.
care.
Yeah.
They really care about the troops and weren't aware of that opportunity. So, those are the, the primary offerings that we have for veterans. We do place some volunteers as well at the Brockton VA or the West Roxbury VA to be ambassadors, and help direct people to their appointments. So other than the vet programs, one other thing I'd like to mention is we do look for friendly visitors. And in Quincy, we are looking for a woman who, an older woman, or somebody age 55 and older, for a visually impaired woman in Quincy who needs a grocery shopper once a week, and also somebody else for a man in Quincy who needs grocery shopping every other week. There are also other needs that come up, helping with clerical work, organizing closet, reading mail,
Yeah.
but those are the immediate needs right now.
So somebody can actually specifically request a specific need that they have to the RSVP program to try and get a volunteer, it sounds like?
Yes, absolutely. That's the most effective way for it to work. So that if people know going in, oh, I'd be happy to read to somebody, or I'd be happy to have somebody with their bills. Some other person might say, oh, I'm better at, like, I want to go take them out. I feel good taking them out, or getting a list of their groceries and doing the grocery shopping for them.
Okay.
So we do a tailored match where we have as much information as possible. So
Yeah.
yes, so
And-
that people know what they're getting into.
And if someone watching, Robert, has a need that they would like to have fulfilled, do they reach out to you and say, do you have anybody that could help with, my shopping or with my...
I'm happy for them to reach out to
Okay.
me, but I would then refer them to the appropriate agency.
I see,
In
okay.
this, yeah. So to keep it simple, people could call me at 781-234-3445 if they also have a need for a visitor to help. Keep in mind, though, that these are volunteers. These are not going to be people that are going to be cooking meals or doing house cleaning for individuals. Unfortunately, they're not at that pay grade.
Okay, yeah, there are other agencies that can help with those tasks, I know for sure.
Absolutely. Those are agencies that have home help aides that could help with that.
Right, South Shore Elder Services comes to mind in Braintree as one in particular.
Definitely.
And can a friendly senior just go for a social call and nothing else?
We can arrange those kind of visits when we find our own volunteers.
Okay.
It may not be as quick to find a match because our partner sites, like the Mass Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired, are very task-oriented.
Gotcha, okay.
Though we do some matches on our own, and if somebody, whether it's a veteran or non-veteran, wants to have a visitor, we will do our own matching. We do have an active match currently happening in Dedham along those lines. So
Okay.
these are great ideas.
Yeah.
We're always looking to help, and if we can't help directly, we typically can direct individuals elsewhere.
Sure.
How are we doing on time, Joe?
We've got about 5 minutes left, and I know you still want to talk about certainly Meals on Wheels and then the English as a second language programs.
Yes. Yeah. You could have my job, Joe. You're good at promoting. You're good at promoting this. So yes, both of those things. Meals on Wheels drivers through the South Shore Elder Services is always looking for people to pick up a one-day-a-week shift for a couple of hours. They'll receive a route in Quincy or Braintree, Weymouth, to be able to deliver meals. It's also, interestingly enough, a way for, even though it's minimal, some social contact, because lot of these are isolated adults, and they look forward to seeing their different drivers drop off their food, even to just say hi.
Absolutely.
Know them by name, and it's again another nice way to give back. Similarly, with food pantries, we do recruit volunteers for interfaith social services, and also for the QCAP food pantry, which is I think the Southwest. I believe it's called the Southwest Food Pantry on Copeland Street.
That's right. Yeah, it's brand new. It's beautiful too. They've done a great job with that.
Yes, yes. So we're definitely wanting to send volunteers to the QCAP new location, and some to ISS as well. And also QCAP, another division of QCAP, does offer English as a second language programs, where we are looking for people to help in the classroom or one-on-one, in person, or it could be through Zoom,
Okay.
helping people practice the English language.
Any
There are-
languages
there-
in particular,
yes.
Robert, that you have a need for?
Well, there are. It's a good question, because a lot of people think they should really be proficient in certain languages, and it might be helpful to know Chinese or Spanish, but you don't have to know any other language than English, because that's what people are learning.
Okay.
And yeah, it's an extra bonus if you do speak another language, but it's really not sought out very frequently for what we're looking for.
Sure. Quick question
also
about I'm sorry, go ahead. Yep.
I was just going to say the Boston Chinatown Neighborhood Council
Yep.
is another organization that we recruit volunteers for English as a second language.
Okay.
Yes.
Just a
What
quick
was your
question about the
question?
Rides to Vets program, Robert. Do the rides have to go to the VA medical centers, or can they go to a private doctor's office as well?
They can go really anywhere
Okay.
that the driver is willing to go.
Okay.
We have taken some long trips as well, but to your point, yeah, people could go to a local dentist, doctor's
Oh, okay,
office. We also do offer, there aren't many programs like this, as you can imagine, and it's a free service. Tipping is not allowed.
Okay.
We do give the mileage reimbursement, but if a veteran or spouse calls with a need to go to dialysis or radiation, where they have the need more than once a week,
Yes.
we will do our best. What we find we're best able to do is find people to regularly do one way, maybe twice a week,
Sure.
sometimes 3 times a week, and have the family member or friends
Yep.
do the other times of week. There's also a lot of people, there are a number of vets go to adult daycare,
Yes.
which happens a couple times a week. So we help with that as well.
Okay. Robert, always great to catch up with you. I really appreciate the opportunity to let folks know about your program. It's certainly a worthy one, and I hope we help get the word out for you.
You certainly do, Joe. I look forward to being in touch, and I'm going to send you an invitation for this summer's luncheon. I hope you could join us.
Thank you. I would look forward to that very much. And we'll check in again before then as well.
All right. Thanks a lot, Joe. Thanks, everybody. Please consider helping out if you can, and stay safe.
Just enough time to check the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. Showers will be tapering off this afternoon, staying cloudy and damp, though, with highs in the low 40s. Gray evening, lows drop off into the mid-30s. Not the greatest of last weekends for January. Tomorrow we've got some snow showers around, with temperatures tomorrow in the upper 30s. Shouldn't accumulate too much tomorrow, but Sunday's a different story. We have rain moving in for Sunday for most of the day. That'll switch over to snow at night and continue to snow into the Monday morning commute, which could be a little tricky. Right now, the forecast is for a couple, 3 inches of accumulation by Monday afternoon, with highs Monday in the mid-30s, and then a frigid blast of Arctic air blows in here for most of next week. So be careful for that. Thanks again going out to Robert Pearson for joining us today from the Norfolk County RSVP program. Thanks to our crew and thank you for watching. Monday here on the program, Quincy College President Dr. Rick DeCristofaro will be stopping by for an update. Meantime, check our website anytime. That's qatv.org. You will find our latest programs, news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great weekend.